Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eleanor Nishabatter and this is my February reading wrap-up. I'm just going to quickly chat about every book I read in February, and I had a really great reading month and I read 6 books. Yeah, I read 6 books. I'll also leave linked in the cards and down below my February reading vlog if you're interested in seeing my thoughts that way. But I'm continuing to do both videos because I know not everyone likes to watch reading vlogs and I know not everyone likes to watch wrap-ups, so I'm doing both. I started off the month by reading and finishing Feedback by Myra Grant. This is a companion novel, a kind of book running in parallel in the Newsflesh trilogy. So this book is timelined is the same as the first book, Feed. Hence the name Feedback, which is quite clever. I enjoy that. So in Feed, you're following Georgia and Sean Mason, who are 2 bloggers 25 years after a zombie outbreak, and they're following along the presidential campaign as it's happening, and they're blogging about it and being news reporters. And it's 25 years after the the zombie outbreak, and the world's kind of continuing on as it has in its own way. There's many new measures in place, lots of things are different, but a presidential election must still go on. It's a really political heavy book, but it doesn't feel like it because it's all tied up with zombies and how to survive in this world. So you're following one side of the American election system in that book and those characters, and they're the characters that run through that trilogy. This is the opposite side of the presidential election, and you're following a different group of bloggers as they navigate the election on that side. There's a lot of diverse characters in here, and I just thought it was really good. It's a good companion to that trilogy, but it's not as good. Some of the characters are a little bit flat, and I have an individual review talking more about my thoughts about this book, and I'll leave that linked below. I then read Grave Secret by Charlene Harris. This is the 4th and final book in the Harper Connolly quartet. Again, I've got a video up about talking about my love for this series, and I reread it every year because I love it so much. Harper Connolly, as a teenager, was struck by lightning, and she developed the ability to be able to sense dead bodies, and when she's near them she can sense and has a vision of how they died, and she aids in murder investigations and missing persons. So it's a kind of supernatural mystery detective kind of series. Wish there was more books in it. I enjoy these characters. I find very a comforting read, and I like the kind of supernatural element. The powers are really interesting and the characters are great. So I read that this month as well. Then I read Guards by Terry Pratchett. I have a review linked in the description. I do all my individual reviews. This is the first book following the city guards in the Discworld series, and you meet all these characters for the first time who later appear quite a lot in the Discworld series, and they're just having an adventure, and there's dragons, and it's just a great laugh. Then I also read Moving Pictures by Terry Pratchett, which is another book in the Discworld series, and it is, I also have an individual linked below. That's all this video is. It's just a collection of me recommending other individual book reviews. I'm sorry. Moving Pictures is another individual book in the Discworld series at large, and it is kind of a spoof and making a mockery of Hollywood and the film industry, and there's lots of inside jokes and stuff, and it's quite a parody, and you're following kind of these characters as they become famous in the Discworld, and they make movies or moving pictures because they have to use different technology that they've just invented, and something goes awry, there's magic involved, and the alchemists do something and something goes wrong, and it's just a good adventure. If you like cinema and film, this might be a good entry point for you for the Discworld series. Then I read my favourite book in February, The Galaxy in the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. This is the 4th and final book in the Wayfarers quartet, and I'm gutted this is the last book. Again, I have an individual book review down in the description linked for you. I love this book. I read it so quickly, excellent. These individual characters are kind of marooned on this planet, where it's just like a one-stop kind of convenience place where you can refuel. They get trapped there because of an incident, and they have to interact with each other, and they're all different alien species, and it's just a kind of snapshot of this moment in their lives. There's not a huge plot going on or anything like that. It's just these characters and these aliens interacting with each other and learning more about their culture and history and background and where they are in that moment. And it's beautiful. Becky Chambers is an amazing writer. She's so atmospheric with how she writes these stories. And I want to meet these alien species. I want to interact with them. And there's only like one or two brief mentions of humanity in this book. No humans present at all. They don't have any bearing or any reference to this world. And I just think it's excellent, and everyone needs to read this series. If you're looking for a very quiet, gentle introduction to science fiction, this would be the perfect series for you. And then the last book I read in February was Recursion by Blake Crouch. Also, for the last time, there's a review individually for this book linked in the description. This is a book where you're following a neuroscientist from one point of view who's discovering something that's happened. There was an epidemic, there's this disease, and it's infecting people, and it's making bad things happen. And there's also a detective as well in New York City, and they're both trying to work out what's going on. There's slightly different timelines going on, and the science fiction kind of elements in this are really excellent. The science is brilliant. It's a really clever and mind-bending kind of concept, and it's Blake Crouch at his best, writing really intricate stories, and I just think they're great, and I love this book. So I'll also recommend that as well. So I'm sure you can tell I read 6 amazing books in February, and my reading was really, really good, and I had great fun. So I'll show you my February kind of bullet journal. So I rated everything quite highly. The only thing, moving pictures, wasn't 100% my cup of tea because it was a bit cinema, and I'm not the biggest fan of cinema in the film industry. I'm not really fussed for it. But I read quite consistently through the whole month. You can tell where I read Recursion, kind of mostly in one sitting, so that was great. So yeah, I had a great reading month in February, and as I said, I'll leave all those individual videos linked in the description. Be sure to leave any questions or comments you have, and I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.